All right, welcome back to Trimble Garage. So something a little bit different. I thought I would show off a little engine that I made back in February of '95 when I was back on the tools as a machinist. It's called a gearless hit and miss engine. It runs like a topless little engine, and it's got some interesting little things about it that I'm going to show you. So let's have a quick look. So this engine is a 4-stroke engine. It runs on mixed oil and gas because there is no oil sump. It's that's the way you lubricate the cylinder. It's the reason that these are called a hit and miss is because once they get up to speed, the engine coasts and it misfires. And what it is these little weights on here act like a governor. So once the RPM gets up high enough, these will spring out and will hold the exhaust valve open so that the engine will just freewheel until it slows down enough, and these weights will spring back in and it'll hit a couple of times. So it hits and it misses, and it hits a couple of times and misses. So that's why it's called a hit and miss engine. The interesting thing about this one, though, is if I turn this around, let's see if I can get it in here, is a 4-stroke engine, the camshaft spins half the speed as the crankshaft. But on this engine, the camshaft runs on the crankshaft. So you have to have a 2-to-1 reduction somehow. So the way it does it is this little arm goes up and down right here. This goes up and down. And it has a little wheel that spins on here. And one time it comes up, it doesn't hit the exhaust valve. The next time it comes up, it does. So that gives it this 2-to-1 reduction, is that little valve, or that little spinning wheel. Now the intake valve, it does not have anything that actuates it. It's actually called an atmospheric valve. So the spring, the valve spring, is much lighter than the exhaust spring. So what happens when the piston goes down, it draws a vacuum, and the vacuum is enough that it actually overcomes the spring tension and lifts the valve all on its own, just through vacuum. So it's just actuated strictly from vacuum inside the cylinder. And what happens when the governor comes out and holds this thing in a coasting, in a missing, if you will, is it actually holds this up and holds the exhaust valve open. With the exhaust valve held open, it doesn't generate any vacuum or compression, and it just freewheels, so this valve does nothing. But as soon as the governor releases and allows this to go up and down again, it draws a vacuum, and then this will pull in the fuel mixture and fire. It's an ingenious little design with this little spinning wheel. I didn't design this engine. I'd like to say that I did, but I actually just copied it off a set of drawings. Looking at the back of the motor, it's just a simple set of automotive points. I think I got this as a motorcycle coil, I believe. Maybe it was a Briggs. No, definitely it was a motorcycle coil. Yeah, this little cam right here just actuates the points, and there's a grub screw on there that you can adjust the timing on it. But anyway, I think it's time to start this thing up. Actually, just before I start this up, this little cutout here, what I actually had was a rechargeable dry cell battery that would sit upside down in this, and I had little springs in here that would actually come into contact with the battery, and that would give it its voltage. But that dry cell died, and so now all I do is just I've got to get another one. I haven't gotten around to it, but I temporarily just hook up a 12-volt supply onto these leads, and that makes it work. So we'll throw some fuel in this gas tank here and see if we can get this thing started up. So I've put a little bit of fuel in it. You can probably see the fuel level in this line is right to about here. So what you do to prime it is actually just put your finger over top of this, turn the engine over, it'll actually suck the fuel up, and then this is your fuel mixture. It's just a simple needle valve. So let's see if we can get this thing to fire up. And there you can see that governor is holding that exhaust valve open and hitting and missing. that exhaust valve. And you can see that exhaust valve opening all by itself. So yeah, pretty neat little engine. I don't know if you enjoyed that or not. I love these little things. I could sit there and watch this thing all day, and it's just very mesmerizing just watching it run. Anyway, thanks a lot. Think about subscribing, and hey, thoughts and comments on this, and have a nice day.